Shalom. I'd like to start this lesson by saying Kal Hala Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone and to the hopeful elect pushing his word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. This lesson is going to be titled, moving pieces, because pieces are being moved together and the prophecies are coming to place. So first off, let's just go into start off in 2nd Ezra. 2nd Ezra 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. So swords was referring to as weapons, right? So back then, the weapon was a sword, an actual sword. Right now, the weapon is the gun, right? So that's a new age sword. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. So the word sedition will paint a bigger picture once you understand what it means. Rebellion, uprising, revolt, concerted attempt to overthrow civil authority, violent strife between factions, civil or religious disorder, riot, rebelliousness against authority. Okay, I don't need to keep going. You get the point. All right. So let's go to here, this article. It's KTLA. I believe it's a news station in America. So several stabbed, nearly 30 arrested, and black churches vandalized in clashes after Trump supporters rally in Washington, D.C. So there was something, part of this article that was very interesting. Okay, yeah, we're going to read up to there. Vandals tore down a Black Lives Matter banner and sign from two historic black churches in downtown Washington and set the banner ablaze as nighttime clashes Saturday between pro-Donald Trump supporters and counter-demonstrators erupted into violence and arrests. So there's two different factions at each other, right? When you look in the definition of sedition, rebellion, uprising, revolt, concerted attempt to overthrow civil authority, violent strife between factions, right? That is exactly what was happening here, right? Pro-Donald Trump supporters and counter-demonstrators erupted into violence and arrest, right? They're against each other because they're counter-demonstrators to the pro-Donald Trump supporters. Police on Sunday said they were investigating the incidents at the Asbury United Methodist Church and Metropolitan AME Church as potential hate crimes. Okay. Rebellion, uprising, revolt, concerted attempt to overthrow civil authority, civil or religious disorder, right? So there's going at churches, which one religious leader likened to a cross burning. So one religious leader said this reminds of as a cross burning back in those times when they used to burn crosses on people's lawns, and then they would hang and lynch and do all types of wickedness, right? So it's Jacob versus Esau, basically what's happening right now. This weekend, we saw forces of hate seeking to use destruction and intimidation to tear us apart. Funny, tear us apart. So if you go further in the definition of sedition, literally a going apart separation, right? District of Columbia Mayor Muriel Bowser said Sunday, "We will not let that happen." A video posted on Twitter showed a group of men appearing to take down a BLM sign at the Metropolitan AME Church as others in the crowd shout, "Whose streets? Our streets." Another video showed people pouring an accelerant on a BLM banner and setting it ablaze in the street as others cheered and cursed Antifa. Someone walks up about a minute later and uses a fire extinguisher to put out the flames. "It pained me especially to see our name, Asbury, in flames," the Rev. Dr. Ianther M. Mills, the senior pastor at Asbury Church, said in a statement Sunday. "For me, it was reminiscent of cross burnings." So this reminded him of cross burnings. "Seeing this act on video made me both indignant and determined to fight the evil that has reared its ugly head." Now, I was reading this and I was like, this is very funny that he said that, right? Right, so we're done with this. Right, now we're in Psalm 83, a song or psalm of Asaph. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult. So, tumult. Commotion, bustle, uproar, disorder, disturbance, right? A state of commotion and noise and confusion. Violent agitation, right? That's what's happening. They're violently agitating the other side, which is Jacob, to strife, right? Just like we read in Second Ezra's. For lo, thine enemies, and they are enemy. Notice it's Edomites doing this. If you look at the picture, Edomites, the Proud Boys, right? And there might be some Jake-looking men in there, but I mean, they could be just tares, right? Their father could have just been an Edomite. So it's primarily just Edomites. This is Jacob versus Esau. Now, there was something that this pastor or minister said that was very interesting. Okay, so right, I found it. Okay, for lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they have hated thee, and they that hate thee, Salakia, have lifted up the head. So look at what he said. For me, it was a reminiscent of cross burnings. Seeing this act on video made me both indignant and determined to fight the evil that has reared its ugly head. So when you rear ugly heads, like someone rearing their ugly head out of the ground, they raise their head, they lifted up their head, right? And they're evil. They're evil because they're against them, right? So that means they are their enemy. And he said it reminded him to the times of the cross burnings. In the cross burnings, it was Esau that was doing that, the Edomites, so-called white man, which is the enemy of Jacob, right? So this is happening all over again. It's the scriptures, the prophecies happening right before you, right? I'll read 16 again in 2nd Ezra because I didn't finish that. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Yeah, and these proud boys don't care about the government. They do whatever they want. Like they walk around the streets with guns because it's their constitutional right, you know. They do that, and because they're Edomites, they know the cops are not going to shoot them. They're Edomites. But if Jake does that, there's a problem, right? But nonetheless, as the prophecy is unfolding, right? So the race war, right? They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. Yeah, and this is all crafty counsel, right? This is all created. This is all perpetrated, right? Because they, you know, the wicked elite, they all plan all this. Why do you think they're not stopping these Proud Boys? Right? If they really cared about Jacob, they would stop these guys because you can see what they're doing. But they don't care. They want this to happen because they want chaos, right? They want people to be fighting against each other so they can establish what they want to establish, their martial law, right? Their order, right? Right. Actually, I'm going to keep reading. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Right? It makes sense. Look who they're going after. They're going after the Israelites, the so-called black people, so-called Negroes. Right? That's who they're going after. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. Yeah. These people have all joined together, the Proud Boys, right? Now they're going against Israel, Jacob. Yeah, it lists who our enemies are. The tabernacles of Edom, first on the list, and coincidentally, you see Edomites here. Right. So that was it on that. I was gonna make this longer, but the point has been made. Right. I don't think there's anything else. Like I said, actually, there's one more scripture. Second Corinthians 2:11. Unless Satan should get an advantage of us, we are not ignorant of his devices. So we are not ignorant of Satan's devices, right? Because it is Satan doing all this. So we are aware that what's happening, right? We're staying circumspect. The hopeful elect. Keep making videos and keep watching because we're supposed to be watchers anyways, right? So you can see that this is happening. This is out of the scripture. So we're getting closer, right? They're happening, right? And to a lot of people, they're not going to see it because the Most High is not dealing with them. Nonetheless, we're getting closer, right? So martial law is around the corner. If not, it's already here. It just hasn't been fully established yet. So I like to close off by saying, Kal Halal Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rekha Kadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone and to the hopeful elect pushing his word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. Death and destruction to his wicked kingdom and the 2/3 as well. Kwam Yasharala, Abal Dabal. Shalom.